right. As is usual, the coffee chat is in session. And joining me today, Govin Whittles. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Angie Els.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll try not to be controversial today.
Let's keep it clean.
Right, exactly.
All right, guys, let's start with the Citizen newspaper. On the front page there, Govin, Eskom debt, who's next? And this is about the power utility taking a tough stance against 3 municipalities who have defaulted on payments. Now, the message to this municipality is that it was short and simple, according to this paper. Pay up before next Wednesday or suffer 14-hour daily power cuts until you pay up.
It's a threat that's been a long time coming. And one wonders whether Eskom will follow through this time. Because what we've seen in the past is these last-minute negotiations for payment agreements. But we have seen in areas such as Southern Gauteng, in the Vaal, that areas which have not paid their electricity bills have been subject to rolling back blackouts on a rotational basis, which, if you count the number of suburbs, it is probably 14 hours or 12 hours across the entire city, such as Mfuleni. But in this scenario, Eskom is more known for getting those last-minute payment agreements and dropping
or even
the
court
price.
action.
Yeah, and an unprecedented move in the Vaal, by the way, where the steel companies and big engineering companies managed to secure a court order that allowed them to pay Eskom directly, because those companies said they couldn't trust the municipality to take the money and give it to Eskom. That set a precedent. One wonders whether the same could not be coming here for the companies, particularly in the Free State, which would be of desperate need of that electricity.
And power supply, I mean, it's very important for the country to have power supply. And some industrial companies are situated in these municipal areas. Those companies have to be guaranteed power, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd think. No, I know. It is one of those mind-blowing situations. And yeah, I mean, if it is possible for companies to do that, it's just to avoid going through the municipality and pay, then that's obviously the way forward. It just fascinates me. I missed one payment a few years back. It was an oversight. It was not intentional. I've never done it again. They cut off our electricity. 4 days, by the way, because that's how long it took them to turn it back on. Why does that not happen to everyone else? It blows my mind. Anyway.
Andre Director has his work cut out. Govin, back to the Sowetan. This is the story that you were up and about covering yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, let's just read the headline first. Sex Mayor's future uncertain. And this as the DA's Federal Executive Council is going to be meeting to discuss Mokhalapa's fate.
Yeah, Sowetan calling the Tshwane mayor a sex mayor. It's a bit harsh, but I suppose worse insults were thrown around yesterday by the ANC in Tshwane.
Well, you'd expect them to do that. They are in the opposition benches.
Yeah, but the mayor in Tshwane is in a real bind. I don't see how he's going to be able to survive this. Look, the Democratic Alliance has instituted this Federal Legal Commission investigation into the things he said on the tape about his colleagues, but the focus really is whether or not he had sex with one of the MMCs
in office,
someone who he's a superior of, and what the implications are of that, whether it breaches any of the council rules. So, it's
do you know what's interesting about this? The person involved here, the mayor, when they went to the police station to lay charges at the Brooklyn police station, the mayor didn't seem to be denying that the tape itself exists. It's only certain parts of what is contained in this tape that he argued. For example, he said something along the lines of the sex element or the intimacy element in the tape may have been tampered with, suggesting that perhaps it's something that may have been inserted, but he didn't seem to dispute what was contained in the tape itself, and he seemed to acknowledge the existence of this because they were alerted to it at some point.
Casually labeling it as office gossip and saying nothing wrong with that. People gossip with their colleagues all the time.
Yeah.
more concerned by the fact that he was being recorded, and he believes that his office was bugged. But yeah, he looked shaken at that police station, Oli. I don't know if you saw the video, and he was fumbling in a lot of his answers. Clearly he's been taken aback by all of this, and even though the focus is on whether or not he had sex with his colleague in his office, he will most likely face more serious reprimand from the Democratic Alliance for the things that he said about particularly about the DA speaker in Tshwane, you know, calling her a witch.
It's going to be interesting if the DA is going to have a situation where two of its mayors or two of the municipalities, very, very serious municipalities that they run. We know that Joburg, Mashaba is on his way out now. That's in limbo. If Tshwane is going to go the same route, I wonder what's going to happen next.
Listen, the ANC says that they might still go ahead with the motion of no confidence on Thursday. They said that the deadline to submit an urgent motion is 8 a.m. on Thursday. And the chairperson saying they'll think about it yesterday, think about it today. And we'll have to watch the council's registrar there to see if that motion doesn't come in, particularly now that the Democratic Alliance seems to be moving towards placing him on special leave and dealing with this matter next year. Of course, Thursday, the last sitting of council, is going to be a fiery one.
Yeah. Tough times ahead for Mr. Mukhalapa. Ange, what's happening in the sports pages?
I'm actually looking at a story that's on the back page of The Citizen, Zero Tolerance to Racism by NZ Cricket, that's New Zealand Cricket. This absolutely blew my mind because you don't expect this kind of thing. England are in New Zealand at the moment, playing a test series, doing not too well, frankly. They've lost the first test and they lost it properly. But on a more serious note, Jofra Archer, who is the Barbados-born, well, frankly, super cricketer at this point in time. He's 24 years old, and I think he is going to be a player to be reckoned with. He was suffering some racist abuse from someone in the crowds. Now, what blows my mind is that surely if you're in the crowd and someone next to you is hurling racist abuse at a player, don't you, I'm not saying take control of it yourself, but don't you alert security to what's going on? That's really the responsibility of human beings. It's a bit like the environment. Everyone's got to take responsibility and take control. In that kind of situation, in my mind, just walk away. You don't have to get involved. Just walk away, go and tell the security guard, look, there's a guy here, out of order, he needs to go.
Look, I'm aware of racism being prevalent in the football sporting code.
Battling big time in European football at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't know that it was just as prevalent in cricket.
Well, it isn't, to be fair. It isn't just as prevalent, and especially in New Zealand, you know. And to be fair, and I'm not going to say we don't have that problem here, but it's certainly nothing that's been highlighted, you know. And it really is. It's quite scary that it starts filtering through into that kind of thing, because you know it's bad enough that they're battling with it in European football, you know, especially in Italy and then in some of the old Eastern European environments. But yeah, for it to be here in cricket, well, it's completely unacceptable. And in my mind, it is just something that everyone's got to get involved, because that's the only way you can stop it.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Govin Whittles, thank you for making the time. Ange, you and I are here.
I'll see you shortly.
Just stay.